Just ahead on American Black Journal, the importance of literacy in the Black community. We'll talk about a family-friendly event celebrating Black authors, plus a special report on an African-American violinist who is a rising star in classical music. American Black Journal starts now.
American Black Journal is funded by the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, a partner with communities where children come first.
How does diversity bring energy to us all? At DTE Energy, we believe that it's the contributions of all that build great communities. As a company, we grow stronger by welcoming the unique perspectives of everyone. As community members, we support our state's broad culture and heritage. From working closely with women and minority-owned suppliers to embracing our local cultures, DTE Energy is powering diversity. The DTE Energy Foundation is a proud sponsor of Detroit Public Television. Masco Corporation is proud to manufacture innovative and environmentally friendly products for the home. Delta faucets, craft-made in Merillat cabinets, and Behr brand paints have all been designed with you in mind. Masco and its family of companies, serving Michigan communities since 1929.
Throughout my whole life, I've been judged based how I look and where I'm from.
According to the status quo, I'm not supposed to be standing here.
We have given up so much of who we are because we've allowed other people to tell our stories.
About now, it's about moving forward and where we want the narrative of Black men to go.
We can do this.
One man could change the world. That one man could change the world.
Welcome to American Black Journal. I'm Stephen Henderson. The most recent data from the National Institute for Literacy estimates that 47% of adults here in Detroit are functionally illiterate. That means nearly half of Detroiters are unable to use reading, speaking, and writing skills in everyday situations. An upcoming event is hoping to have an impact on literacy here in the Black community. The second annual African American Family Book Expo on February 26 takes place at the Northwest Activities Center and features more than 70 independent Black authors. Joining me now is the founder of the Expo, Janice Haynes, owner of Detroit Book City Bookstore, and two of the featured authors, David Watkins and 13-year-old Sydney Stringer. Welcome, all of you, to American Black Journal.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah. So that number, 47%, it's a number I'm pretty familiar with over the years here in Detroit. It never seems to go down. That's the frustrating part of it. Nearly half of Detroiters are not equipped with the skills they would need to do most jobs, I think is the way that it often gets framed.
Right, right. Yeah, well, we're here. We set up this platform to connect readers to African-American book authors in the area. Mm-hmm. We hope that this will bridge that generational gap, you know, putting this platform together so that we can connect them. Yeah. A lot of times they want to find, if they do want to read, they want to find something that's culturally connected. Right? Yeah, they can relate to our image. Yeah. So we're excited about it.
Yeah. Talk to me about the very first time you did this.
Oh, wow. Very first time last year,
over the years,
2017.
Right? Yeah, right.
We expected a small crowd. First of all, our bookstore. Yeah. We have a bookstore in Greenfield, in Southfield. It's a small, magical, cozy, independent bookstore. We started as a online bookstore in 2016, January. And we were competing against, you know, Amazon, Barnes and Noble. So we weren't really selling anything.
Very tough business.
Yeah, very
selling,
tough.
Right?
So I decided, you know, there's a red light went off in my head saying, hey, try to see if we can get some book authors to come into a room, and then we'll market it out to individuals to see if they would like to come out. Yeah. We had an overwhelming positive response. Wow. We had 65 book authors that came, that set up an exhibit and sold their books. Wow. We had over 1,500 people to come out. So there is a cluster.
People are really interested.
They're still interested in the physical book. Yeah. They're still interested.
Bookstores were some of my favorite places when I was a kid here in Detroit, and as you point out, there aren't that many left around. Not brick and mortar
Right.
bookstores where you can go and engage. But that engagement part of it is really important for literacy, as we were talking about.
It's very important, and the goal is to start it off with the kids at a young age.
Yeah.
You know, if you get them started, then they'll have a love for it. And our goal is to bring that happiness back. You know, bring happiness back about reading.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. David and Sydney, you are two of the featured authors. I'm going to start with you, Sydney. 13. You're already writing books.
Yes.
That's pretty impressive. Tell me about that.
So, it was a really good experience to write a book, and I had joined a program called Storyteller, Storyseller that my aunt had started. So I play the piano, and I want to write music, and I want to be a songwriter, and I thought it would help with my writing skills, so I joined it, and I thought it was going to be like we would get a certificate at the end of the whole thing, and we'll just leave.
Right.
So she said, write your book, have a sketch, we're going to have a photo shoot, we're going to have everything at the end of the program. So I'm like, a photo shoot? What is she talking about? So I had wrote my book, and then she asked for a sketch. I drew my sketch, and she got my cover made, and she told me to set up my Amazon, my Barnes and Nobles. She told me to set up all of these different things. So I'm like, am I really about to
publishing a book? Great.
And then she said, we're going to have a book signing. So I'm like, oh my God, I have to set up a Facebook page. I have to set up so much stuff. And my mom really helped me with my social media, and my dad really helped me with all of the business part with setting up with your money and things. So it was very exciting and very overwhelming, and you're really tired after all of this.
I'll bet. So tell me what the book's about.
So my book is about a girl named Dee Dee, and she is going to learn some lessons in this book, and in middle school, it's a lot of things going on. So once you come out of elementary, everybody changed. You're like, what's going on with everybody?
Yeah.
So it's peer pressure, people being jealous of you, and she's learning a lesson off assuming. And when you make assumptions, you really mess up friendships.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be a good book to write, to give to younger people, because when they come into middle school, they want to be surprised. They'd be like, oh, Dee Dee, she thought of this. She said that she had messed up a relationship. So I just wanted the younger people to learn and not make the mistakes Dee Dee had made.
Yeah. That's very cool. That's a very sophisticated theme for a middle school book. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
David, talk about your work.
My latest book of the 9 children's books I've written is called Mommy When It's Midnight. For years, people have been asking me, when will you write a book for youngsters, young youngsters?
Little kids.
Because most of my books are from 7 to 12, as far as the age range. Mommy When It's Midnight is about a young calf who's asking his mother when it's midnight. He's heard about midnight throughout his life and wants to know when it is. And his mother tries to explain to him that he has to stop playing all day so he can stay up. But I want to play. You can't have both. That's the lesson they're in.
Right.
You can't have both
have to
sometimes.
Choose one or the other, right? Yeah. Talk about writing children's books and sort of having in mind that idea that maybe you're the first or among the first words that inspire someone like Sydney to become an author, or just someone to become a great reader.
Yes, reading implies to me that somebody has written something.
Yeah, right.
So they go more or less hand in hand. And I love reading. And so the first books I read as a child inspired me to go on and tell stories, make up stories with my brothers.
Yeah, yeah.
And so now I started to write.
Yeah.
In 2010, I believe it was, I put out my first children's book.
Yeah. What were some of the first books you read, Sydney? Do you remember books that made you love reading or love words?
I really don't know the author's name, but I remember the title off the top of my head. I used to read this book called Chicka Chicka Boom Boom.
Yes, I have children about your age, so I have read that book a million times. I feel like out loud. Right?
I read Pinkalicious, her series. I read Dr. Seuss a lot. I have like the whole collection. I have the whole Disney collection. I just really love to read, and I love to write. And when I put it on paper and I joined this program, I was like, this is my dream come true.
Yeah, yeah. David, what was early literature like for you? What were some of the things that said, hey, this is what I want to go do?
As far as children's books, I also read Dr. Seuss, Beverly Cleary, and the classics by Mark Twain and such, Prince and the Pauper, Tom Sawyer, things of that sort.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of other things too. My parents had me reading adult literature, but I was, when I say adult literature, I mean
right, I get
PG-13, of course.
Right. I mean, the idea that you have folks like this at your event is really inspiring.
So
right?
exciting.
Yeah.
And this year we have 78 that's going to be at this event this year.
Wow.
And we have like 10 authors coming in from out of town. So if we reached out to out-of-towners now, they see the platform and they're excited about it. So.
Yeah. The community of people who are really interested in books and reading in Detroit, talk about what that's like right now. You mentioned before that you opened this brick and mortar store last year. There's other people, it feels like, who are now saying this is still something that people want and it's still something worth doing.
It's nothing like the physical book. You know, I'm an avid book lover too myself. When I was younger, I used to look through encyclopedias.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I wanted to see what was what and who was who, and so I still have that type of interest. But our store, we have a lot of families come through there. We're the family bookstore.
Yeah.
We sell all genres. I mean, from parenting to health, fitness. What we specialize in African American books.
Yeah.
So when you walk in, it's this magical green room. It's beautifully designed. It's just books everywhere. I had one customer come in and say, wow, I never been into a bookstore that has so many African Americans looking at me.
Right.
so it's fascinating. They're fascinated with it. I call it the magical room, actually the knowledge room.
Yeah.
So, there's
really
a lot, there's a cluster of people that still love that physical book.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going anywhere.
Sydney, are you looking forward to signing books, I guess, at the event? Is that one of the things
I'm
you're gonna
looking
do?
forward to it. From when my first book signing, my hand was so tired, like my wrist was feeling like it was gonna fall off.
Right.
So knowing all of these people are coming, I'm gonna be prepared for it, do a little wrist exercise.
Well, and it'll be that's right. Get ready for it, right? And it'll be really interesting to be there with other authors. Do you have other children authors?
We have one other children author. His name is Talaro Watkins.
Okay.
I think he's coming in from Columbus. So he has a book about mushrooms. So we have 2 kids in the room. He's 9 years old.
Yeah.
So it's very exciting.
No, that's really important. All right. Well, congratulations, and we will look forward to the event. Is this something you'll do every year?
Yes, it's every year. This is our 2nd annual. And then in June, we do a Juneteenth books, poetry, and arts fair.
Okay.
So this June will be our 2nd annual with that.
Your 2nd annual
so
with that.
Twice a year. With the bookstore, we'll do events twice a year on a mega level.
Well, and it seems like it's growing. So
it's growing.
The demand is there.
People always come in and say, people still read? Absolutely.
Yes, people
the physical
still
book
read.
is not going anywhere, guys.
And
now we have so many Black authors out here. It's important that we expose them.
Yeah.
When kids pick up a book and they see an image of themselves, they get more excited about it.
It really matters. It's one of those things that gets you all charged up.
And we hope that they're going to be running it next.
Yeah, right?
Somebody
That's
got to
right.
take over.
Sydney, you hear
that? Sydney got this.
All right, thanks to all 3 of you for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
And there is another event coming up this month that focuses on reading and writing and understanding the world around us. The Black Literacy Forum is on February 22nd at the Charles H. Wright Museum of African American History. The free event is open to the public and features guest panelists and moderator David Rambo of Project Bait. It's the 5th installment in a series of forums that focuses on the importance of literacy in the Black community. Up next, a competition that promotes diversity in the arts, but first, we're taking a look back at some of the guests on this program over the last 50 years. Here's a 1991 Detroit Black Journal interview with actor and activist Danny Glover.
You have been very active in the Black consciousness movement since your days, college days. What's ahead for you?
It's very interesting. You call it Black consciousness. I tended to see myself as progressive in that sense. I learned something about forming alliances, and you can form alliances based upon power and position of power at San Francisco State. Because San Francisco State happened, the strike, which lasted something like 8 months, happened because of the alliance that was formulated between Asian students, Hispanic students, African American students, and progressive white students. That's what made that strike happen, you know. And I always, in my thoughts, have always formed my ideas surrounding, first of all, my identity about who I was and my role in the world as an African American, and then secondly, by forming those alliances, and those alliances are essential and important to form, because what I want, like I said, what I talked about doing, what we talked about doing, was connecting our relationship, or making our relationship with the campus and the community one, you know, and not standing above the community, but making it one, creating a situation where we were responsive to the community, not presupposing that the community should act this way or that way, but listening to them and hearing to them. And I learned something from that.
The 21st annual Sphinx competition recently wrapped up here in Detroit. The contest places a spotlight on diversity in classical music. One of this year's top winners was Randall Gooseby, a 21-year-old African-American man who has been playing the violin since he was 7. Here's his story.
My name is Randall Gooseby. I play violin and I am 21 years old. I'm from Memphis, but I currently live in New York City. Sphinx has been pretty integral in my growth. I mean, I was actually here after winning the junior division when I competed in 2010. So I was 13, and to me, Sphinx means opportunity. I think more than anything, not just an opportunity to go out and perform and share my music and my love for music with others, but also the opportunity to grow as a person and as an ambassador for not only the arts, but also inclusion and diversity and all the things that are so integral to Sphinx's vision. The opportunity to meet and connect with so many different people from so many different backgrounds and cultures who are united by this goal and by this vision that we all share. They have gone from Aaron Dworkin, the founder, started the competition with 12 people, and this is the 21st annual competition. So in 20 years, it's grown, and you know, it's now an international organization, transforming lives through diversity in the arts. And I mean, that pretty much sums it up.
pretty amazing young musician. And you can watch the finals of the Sphinx competition right here on Detroit Public Television on February 26th at 9 p.m. That's our program for today. Thanks for watching. You can get more information on all of our guests at AmericanBlackJournal.org, and you can always connect with us on Facebook and on Twitter. We'll see you next time.
As American Black Journal looks ahead at the next 50 years, we want to hear from you, the viewers. Tell us what you think of this program and what you'd like to see on future episodes. Visit AmericanBlackJournal.org to take a quick survey and share your opinion. Thank you.
American Black Journal is funded by the W.K. Kellogg Foundation, a partner with communities where children come first.
How does diversity bring energy to us all? At DTE Energy, we believe that it's the contributions of all that build great communities. As a company, we grow stronger by welcoming the unique perspectives of everyone. As community members, we support our state's broad culture and heritage. From working closely with women and minority-owned suppliers to embracing our local cultures, DTE Energy is powering diversity. The DTE Energy Foundation is a proud sponsor of Detroit Public Television. Masco Corporation is proud to manufacture innovative and environmentally friendly products for the home. Delta faucets, craft-made in Merillat cabinets, and Behr brand paints have all been designed with you in mind. Masco and its family of companies, serving Michigan communities since 1929.
Throughout my whole life, I've been judged based how I look and where I'm from.
According to the status quo, I'm not supposed to be standing here.
We have given up so much of who we are because we've allowed other people to tell our stories.
About now, it's about moving forward and where we want the narrative of black men to go.
We can do this.
One man could change the world. That one man could change the world.